Today I will be talking to you about rock layers. I will also be talking to you about how they form. I will be preparing an example of some rock layers and how they form as we go on. The very first layer that got deposited was the tan layer. It fell in a tilted position. The next layer that got deposited was the pink layer. This layer also fell in a tilted position. After these two layers were deposited, a dike formed. A dike is an igneous rock formation that forms vertically when magma comes out from below the rock surface but doesn't fully come out and cools. When the magma is cooled, a fracture occurred in the pink layer. A fracture is a crack in the rock due to erosion. After the fracture came another layer, which was the black layer, got deposited in a tilted position. Later on, the teal layer was deposited. This layer too fell in a tilted position. When that layer was finished depositing, a sill occurred. A sill is the same thing as a dike, but horizontal, and at the time it came to the surface. This sill went through the pink, black, and teal layer. The next layer that got deposited was the white layer. When the white layer settled, one more sill occurred. The next layer that got deposited was the light brown layer. When all of those tilted layers were settled, when all those tilted layers got deposited, when all those tilted layers settled, another fracture occurred in the teal layer, in the teal, white, and light brown layers. After that, another dike formed in the white and brown layers. The next layer that fell was the green layer. Which also fell tilted. Right after that, a dike formed in the green layer. Oh, sorry, it fell in the brown and green layer. The era these layers would have formed in was the Paleozoic era. The types of fossils you might find in these layers are trilobites, fish, and seaweed. The next layer that fell was the yellow layer. And it fell straight across all the tilted layers. Which fell on top of all the tilted layers. The dark brown layer was deposited after that. The next layer to get deposited was the black layer. After that layer came a light green layer. When all these layers were settled, a fault occurred. A fault just breaks the rocks and separates them. After the fault occurred, another fracture occurred on the right side and went through all the layers. When all these layers were settled, another yellow layer fell on the top, which is still there today, that our